this video I want to talk about how to desynchronize the motion of a player, because in Minecraft the motion of a player gets calculated independently from the server and the client, and there are minor differences between the server and the client. For example, the client thinks that the player shouldn't be allowed to be pushed around by entities, while the server thinks he should be pushed around by entities. So if I stand here, the server thinks that I'm pushed away by the cows, and therefore he thinks that I'm over there, because I'm constantly moving over there. So for the server I have a motion, and for the client I'm standing still. And so for the server I'm over there, and therefore I can also pick up items over there. That's one way to desynchronize the motion between the client and the server. And something interesting is if you take damage, the motion of the server overrides the motion of the client. So if I drink a potion of farming, I will get the motion the server thinks I have. So if I just drink it, I will be almost teleported over here, because I get the motion the server thinks I have. Another way to get a motion for the server but not for the client is standing on boats. As you can see, I activated this pressure plate even though I was standing up there, because the server thinks that you can fall through boats under certain conditions, but these conditions are hard to get. And another way to get a desynchronization between the motion of the client and the server is standing on ghost blocks, because the client thinks he is a block. Therefore, I'm not falling down, and the server thinks there's no blocks, therefore I'm falling down on that pressure plate down there. And this motion is actually very large. It's pretty fast actually, and I just want to quickly demonstrate how big this motion is by so I have a contraption here that will suffocate the player, and at the same time it will take away the ghost block under my feet. So I'm currently standing on a ghost block, and therefore for the server I have a very high velocity downwards, and if I'm suffocating I get damage, therefore I get the velocity the server thinks I have also for the client, and if I press a button I will get a very high velocity downwards, and it's very fast. Now you can use slime blocks to also be launched upwards, because if you have a very high velocity and you're standing on a slime block, you're getting launched upwards. And I just want to demonstrate that. So if I drink a potion of farming while standing on a ghost slime block, I get launched upwards pretty high up actually. So something that's interesting here is, since this is a ghost slime blocks, the motion gets reversed for the client but not for the server. So for the client I'm getting launched upwards, but for the server I still have a negative motion. So if I was damaged while being launched up by this, I would be launched down again pretty quickly, and I would quickly give me an invincibility effect, because otherwise I won't survive the next thing. And it's just something interesting. So I get launched up and launched down pretty quickly, because down there I'm getting launched back up by the slime block, and the fire is launching me down, because for the server I have a very high negative velocity. Yeah. And so for the server I always have a negative velocity while being launched up here. What that means is, if I land on another ghost slime block up here, I will also be launched pretty high up, because I have a very high negative velocity to the server. So if I'm getting launched up here, when getting damaged again by fall damage, I also get launched pretty high up. And this is actually something that you can survive in survival, because the fall damage is calculated from the fall height and not the motion, and the fall height isn't actually too big if I land there. So I'm going into survival mode, and when I drink the potion of farming, and I'll get launched up, and if I land here on another slime block and get fall damage,